let it all out. These are the things I could do without.
These are
Come
the
on.
things I can do without.
I'm talking to you. Come on.
I'm talking to you each day, each time. You really have to save yourself. Let it all. You really have to shout, shout. Let it all out. Happy New Year! Ding, 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 dong. Tim Conway Jr. 2016. It's in the rearview mirror, baby. It's dead and buried, just like a bunch of celebrities this year, man. And you want to know why? It's all these goddamn crazy people running around, all right? Left and right. And you want to know why the crazy people are running around? Because Ronald Reagan closed all the goddamn psych wards across this nation, all right? That's why people are shooting up airports. Celebrities are dying. Fucking J.J. Abrams has the gall to kill off Han Solo. This is the world that
Spoiler alert.
2016 is gone. 2017, here we go. Great, cool. Everybody have a great time and enjoy the rest of this year coming up, 2017.
So now we know why you're running around.
Oh, I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan. Welcome to Squared Circle Cinema. With me is the coolest guy I know east of Highway 71, the muffler, Ryan Bruckner. Ryan, Happy New Year, buddy.
I said, at least we know why you're running around.
God.
Because you're crazy.
Dude, right? I just came across like a crazy person. I cannot do these intros, Ryan. Why do you keep making me do them? That was terrible.
I like to see you struggle.
He looks
deep into my eyes.
I'm looking into his eyes, and it just throws me off. And when you said spoiler alert, it's like, fuck you, dude. Try to do my intro, okay? God. Happy New Year, though.
Speaking of crazy people running around,
yeah,
I have a funny story.
Nice.
I was walking my dog the other morning, like I'm wont to do. And all of a sudden, I just hear this horrible shrieking. And I even had headphones in. And so I'm like, what the hell is this? Right. It was that loud.
Okay, right at first moment, did you know what created that shriek?
No, I didn't.
If it was a human or animal?
I didn't. I thought,
or object.
I'm like, is this like a pig squealing? Is this a person yelling?
Wow.
And then I was like, maybe it was so high pitched.
What time of day?
It was about 9:30.
Yeah.
It was so high pitched that I thought, like, has somebody got like some sort of buzzsaw going?
Is someone getting their leg chopped off by a buzzsaw?
And then I just see this Mexican guy running down the street carrying a pig that's just going, wah!
Oh my God.
And it's a big pig. Like, you could see that this guy is struggling. Like,
what the hell is this man?
Like, he's herniating some discs.
Holy
carrying this pig.
How does this
and
scenario?
I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing.
You didn't dream that? That's out of a
horrifying
nightmare. Right?
Dog is my witness. He saw it too.
So wait, did the guy have a fucking pet pig? Do people eat pig live now? Was he about to?
No, I didn't know what to think, because then he bolted down an alley with the pig, and he was out of sight, and then the pig stopped squealing. And then I was like, did he just kill the fucking pig?
What was he?
And so we ran over to the alley to go look. And then I hear someone go, how'd you get out, Wilbur? It was someone's pet.
Did you make that last part up just to make it a more charming story?
No.
It was someone's pet.
It was someone's pet.
God.
Someone in my neighborhood has a big-ass pig named Wilbur for a pet.
Okay, now
and I think this guy was like their gardener or something.
Because I was thinking, like, maybe this guy's transporting animals and one got out of he did a pig head count. Like, oh no, we're missing Wilbur. Pull over. Like, so I was going to ask if there was like a truck in eye shot.
I could only imagine what would have happened.
House look like? How did you get out? Pig, how did you get out. So
They
hopefully
have like
out of the
a
garden.
2-story craftsman. It's a nice house.
But was it like, how did you get out of the house, or how did you get out of the backyard?
It's a backyard.
Okay.
They have their backyard is also lets out to that alleyway.
I don't know if it's legal to have a pet pig in the state of California.
Yeah, it is. You just can't have ferrets.
You can domesticate a pig?
Yeah. People have pet pigs all the time.
What about a wild bull? No, I was talking about my co-host.
I have a mole.
Yeah. How many seems?
It was very crazy.
Let's play quote off. Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Then let's not.
All right.
Pig illegal forest to kill in it is. Love is in the air.
He dared to kill a king's dare.
Isn't love in the air? Didn't you have a date?
Oh, shut up. No, I didn't.
Mike had a date.
I didn't have a date. Nothing happened yesterday.
Mike had a date.
I had a date with tubegalore.com and petroleum jelly.
Well, where did you take Tube Galore?
To the yard house.
Oh, okay. Well, why was it so bad?
I just got out.
Why was it so bad?
Just wasn't. Look, hey, man, I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, do I want to put a baby in you? Yes or no? All right. Seriously.
Really? You are?
Yeah. Am I going to spend the rest of
You're a man. You don't have to worry about the biological clock like a woman.
I know I don't, but like, hey, all right. I don't want to get into this shit. I've already cried once today, okay? That's not true. That's not entirely
That was
true.
last episode.
Oh my
Unless
God.
you cried again today.
I have cried 27 times. I've been counting since that episode, right? I don't know. I'm tired. Okay, look. Do I want to settle down? Yeah, sure. And it's like, I ain't got the goddamn time to be like, yeah, not into it, but let's just have a second and third date,
You don't have that kind of time? What are you doing?
Well, nothing, okay? I'm doing nothing.
Just sitting in my apartment
Look.
watching
have
the
that-
MLB network?
Okay, fine. I don't have that kind of energy then to like pretend that I'm liking someone.
How do you...
It's exhausting. You
what do
should
you
ask
waste-
me how I'm feeling
what
right
do you
now.
waste your energy on? Please tell me.
Okay.
All of the various chores and duties you have,
Yeah, man.
the various civic organizations
Dude.
that you're a board member of.
Dude, my fluorescent light bulbs went out the other day.
Oh, shit.
All right, fluorescents. Those are supposed to last forever.
No wonder you're tired.
No shit, dude. You can't just change them simply. Like, you got to make sure it's all nice and neat. And, like, first I bought the wrong forensic bulbs. There's, like, the forensic bulbs. There's, like, 6 different varieties. So first I blew it that way. So then I had to go back to get the right varieties. And then I was like, oh, shit, I don't know how to put in a fluorescent bulb. Because I turned it in, I locked it, I thought, and I turned it on. It still didn't work. And then I turned on the other lighting source, and that didn't go on either. So the whole time I got some electrical problem in my kitchen. So I'm going back and forth from the Home Depot. Like, man, I could change bulbs. I swear to God, I could do it. And in doing so, I broke the goddamn plastic holder that claps the fucking fluorescent bulbs. So then I had to call somebody in to change light bulbs for me. This kind of shit takes energy, it takes time, and it takes emotional investments. Yeah, I'm busy, all right? I got to change some fucking light bulbs, okay?
Cool story, bro.
But these goddamn dates, they're just too goddamn expensive, Ryan. Like, holy shit. Now I'm out $100 at the goddamn yard house. And it's like, for what? For what? A goddamn a pleasant hour conversation with someone I'll never see again.
So she ordered
I just can't
a lot of
afford
food.
I can't afford these dates.
She ran up the bill, is what you're saying? What did she have?
No.
What did she have?
No, man.
What did she order?
She got
I mean, the yard house isn't like
okay, she got like
really expensive.
her play was like $12.
What did she get?
She got let's see. It was the vodka shrimp pasta.
Okay.
And it's her
$12.
And it was her
What did she get
favorite.
to
And
drink?
she's like, sometimes you know what? I'm not going to say.
What did she get to drink?
She got an apple cider.
An apple cider. And that sounds like That
It was reasonable. It was
yeah,
very
that sounds
reasonable.
pretty reasonable.
That was like $5.50.
She probably cost you less than $20.
No, it was.
But you said the
$100.
bill was $100.
Fucking-
What did you get, asshole?
I got the surf and turf, man.
And how much did that cost?
It was $38.
So here you are blaming
Okay,
her
I see what.
when you
I
ran
s-
up that fucking bill.
I suggested the calamari too. I was like, don't we want calamari too?
So you're trying to complain about these things being expensive when all you're doing is treating yourself.
I don't think I'm doing this right.
You
Yeah,
gotta
I guess I am.
You
Hey,
gotta
Mike,
reevaluate,
you don't go out-
reassess, and then move forward.
You don't think about your, you don't go out to dinner. Why don't you treat yourself? And I just splurge. Oh, all right.
You just splurge on a date that you're not enjoying.
I mean, it's the fucking Yard House, though. It's not like we went to Morton's. Like, that's $100.
Why are you ordering a steak at the fucking Yard House?
I hadn't been out to a restaurant in a long time, and I really wanted a steak. And god damn it,
Well, I guess you have the money to spare then, and you shouldn't be complaining about the dating world.
States are too expensive, man.
I don't think you really want to spread your seed, because if you did, you wouldn't be complaining about this.
What?
The money that it costs to
So
go on a date.
Oh, all right. I told you I didn't want to talk about my date, Ryan.
Oh, to be continued. We'll see how the
No.
next one goes.
It was a nice. It was kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
The steak.
Otherwise, how was your 2016, man?
Great. Yeah, man. It's been a great.
What was your high
What are
point?
we at? What are
What
we
was
at
your
now?
high point?
Oh, I thought you were going to say 2017.
No, your 2016.
Oh.
Do you
so
have
I was
a high
gonna,
point
I
of
had a killer week.
Do you have a high
Year
point of
7 days.
2016?
Okay. Well, I read a Jim Gaffigan book called Food.
Oh, you read that?
It was wonderful. He's just
Cassie
talking about hot
read that too.
pockets. So that's not really an event, though. That's just kind of the most productive
That
thing.
sounds
I
like
did.
a hell of a 2016.
You know what was a highlight for me, Ryan? Filming with you.
Oh, yeah.
We did a couple
We
videos
created a
called Two Honks on halosheaven.com. We did like 4 videos. We cranked it out, man.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did it.
That was
And they
a
looked pretty good. And
that
there
was a
were some
highlight
laughable
for me,
moments.
for sure. I
I'd say
did a
that
lot
was-
of fun things.
I was a ball.
I traveled a lot this year,
Yes, you
which I
did.
enjoyed.
You went to Tejas.
You went to Texas. I went to WrestleMania
went to-
32.
You went to Japan.
Japón. Yeah.
You went to Phoenix, Arizona
I did.
to visit some family.
I visited my dying grandmother.
And I'm sorry. And you went to Huh? Are you going to say it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tustin.
Tustin?
I don't know. I was
go there every day.
God,
for
I was like,
work.
come on, Mike, just say something funny here. Just get us out of this joke. I don't know. I was going to say like a funny
Highlight.
Oh, you went
okay.
to Butte, Montana.
Highlight was traveling.
No, where else did you go?
Biggest disappointment.
Highlight
happened-
was traveling. That's the most boring answer you could give.
Well, your answer was you read that Jim Gaffigan book.
But that's specific. I mean, it took me like 7 months.
I was gonna tell you
But-
my low light, my biggest disappointment of the year.
Highlight
It's
traveling.
you, buddy. No, just kidding.
Oh.
It is WrestleMania 32.
Really?
It was a disappointment. I wish I could have saved the money I spent on WrestleMania 32 and spent an extra day in Austin.
Of all the things that happened to you,
Yeah.
like you like that one time you stubbed your toe back in June of 2016 more than your entire experience of WrestleMania 32,
It was
part of
disappointing.
100,000 screaming
Well,
sex offenders?
I went to WrestleMania the year before and it was great.
You know, I did too, man.
Yeah, I
Well,
went
you
with
were there?
I went with you.
No. What?
And this one was not good at all. I can't think of like a single really great moment that happened on that show.
It was a very mediocre WrestleMania.
Definitely.
WrestleMania 31
Definitely mediocre.
was a home run. 10
Very mediocre.
Oh, did I say mediocre?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Thank you for correcting me though. Cuz I know it's mediocre, bro.
Meaty cockroach. Yeah, that's right.
Mediocre. But also, you know what? You're in this huge stadium, which is kind of cool at first, but then it just becomes a novelty, and then you just are sitting around with a bunch of people that are as bored as you are, and like
It wasn't even a good stadium.
You're just
compared to
kinda watching-
Levi's Stadium. I think our AT&T sucks.
That's funny because I wasn't impressed with Levi's Stadium all that much.
I thought I liked Levi's way better.
Really.
It at least had like a better atmosphere. Like by the end of the night, I was like, I experienced something cool in a cool setting.
As far as just the stadium,
all like the set was cool.
I bet the amenities at AT&T are way better.
The
than
food
Levi's.
I ate at Levi's was way better than the food I ate at AT&T.
What did we eat?
I remember like eating like
we had like a brat.
Yeah, I had like a brat, and I think I even got like a beef sandwich or something, and like some ice cream.
It was a good environment, definitely.
It was a great show.
You know, people were friendly. Old
WrestleMania
ladies were-
32 was just garbage.
Bummer.
Would
you say-
Mike? Oh, go ahead.
It's not that great.
Yeah,
a point.
okay. Mike, I have an announcement.
You do?
We've
You've seen Junior
podcasted
by-
for a year.
You've seen Junior starring
I
Schwarzenegger.
mean, who hasn't? We podcasted for a year. I think it's high time to have a Squared Circle Cinema Hall of Fame and Hall of Shame.
Yay! Cool. Thanks for telling me. I would have loved to have participated and prepared. What the fuck, dude? That's a great idea.
Well, I just
We should
wanna-
do that
I
next
wanna
time.
see if we line up.
Ah, Jesus Christ. But we saw so
Okay.
many movies.
Okay.
Now I gotta
we
queue
saw a
them up.
lot of movies. Tell me, Mike.
We saw 12.
Who is the best actor that deserves to enter in the Squared Circle Cinema Hall of
Official.
Fame
Inaugural.
officially based upon the films that we saw?
Okay.
My favorite performance of the year.
Should we do some? Should we have some like other nominees as well, or should I just go
No,
out
I
and
want
say
I
it?
want you to tell me who you think it was.
I
already
think-
know.
Okay,
who
I'm going back and forth between two. I had two I had two performances that were very very powerful for me, and that's Hot Rod, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and They Live, and that's Kevin Nash and the whole 9 yards. It's between those two, and I am gonna go with, and like I know we're supposed to isolate just performance, and I hope it's not because I think that They Live was a better movie, you know, and that's kind of nudging me in my decision. But I'm gonna go with Hot Rod, Rowdy Roddy Piper, in They Live.
Mike, you ignorant slut. I thought it was clear that Kevin
Jane?
Nash was the best actor we saw this year.
Yeah.
We saw him not only steal the show in the whole 9 yards, he also was the emotional center of Magic Mike XXL.
Well, maybe I misunderstood because I thought the category was Best Actor. So we're talking over the whole year, not one performance.
We're saying which actor should be the first inductee in the Squared Circle Cinema Hall of Fame.
Okay, so we have to vote now. I think as far as Hall of Fame status, let's give it to Kevin Nash.
I think Kevin Nash blew it out of the park. We saw 2 Hot Rod movies.
Yes, we did.
We saw 2 Kevin Nash movies.
And 2 Hulk Hogan movies. So maybe we
So,
should broaden our fucking horizons a little bit.
Well, we kind of are today, but we'll get to
Um,
that later.
Let's see.
I think Kevin
Get to that
Nash,
later.
man.
What do you mean? You mean like film number 12 of 4,798?
Yeah, but later. I think Kevin Nash. I mean, we just sung his praises this year in podcasting.
Yeah.
Can we make him the inaugural first inductee? We're not saying Hot Rod's
I am gonna
not going to make it in.
I'm gonna say yes because when we were discussing the whole 9 yards, and I asked what was the highlight of the movie, we both at the same time just right out of a wonderful sitcom with 2 people that that
Yeah.
love each other. It just said, Kevin Nash
Nash.
jinx. And
Yeah.
we had this emotional connection. It's like, hey, all right, man. For once, we're on the same fucking page.
Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash. Absolutely. I can't say no to that.
Who is
And
the first entrant?
I'm sorry, but Hell Comes to Frogtown was not a good movie.
It was not.
And,
It was
he
terrible.
was not, did not, he was the best part. He did the best of what he could, but tonally, I think he missed the mark.
Which actor is the first to go into the Hall of Shame? The worst actor of the Squared Circle Cinema Hall of Shame.
This is a no-brainer for me because
too.
I'm going to say the one man that is not an actor, and when he's acting, he's not acting. He doesn't know how to take direction. He can barely memorize his lines, it seems like. Every time he delivers them, it seems like he's trying hard to remember what they are.
He's wooden.
He's very wooden. It's like a
It's
log.
shame that he stole so many roles.
He's just a log in a tanning bed, man.
And
With
that's
those little undies.
and that is 1,
Hulk,
2, 3.
Chris
Hulk-
Jericho.
Oh. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan sucks.
Holy shit.
Hulk Hogan
He
sucks.
is the worst actor, maybe of all time. And I'm going to say the worst performance out of the two we saw, which was No Holds Barred or Santa with Muscles, goes to Santa with Muscles.
Yeah.
Because at least No Holds Barred, he was in a ring and he got to use his charisma a little bit, you know, and he could showcase how good he is as a performer in the ring a little bit in that movie.
Okay, let's induct a movie into the Hall of Shame while we're toiling in the recesses of the muck and the mire of the Hall of Shame.
Okay.
Which movie deserved? What was the worst movie we saw?
You know what?
I'm torn. I'm saying
I
it's
kinda am
either
too.
Santa with Muscles or Hell
Devil's-
Comes to Frogtown.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Devil's Rejects.
Really?
Yeah, throw it away. It doesn't need to exist.
You would put it in the Hall of Shame?
Yeah.
Over, you liked Santa with Muscles more and Hell Comes to Frogtown more?
I don't.
I mean, at least there's like some nice cinematography.
I know, but hey,
It's
you
actually,
remove.
of all those movies, it's the funnest to look at.
I don't know.
It's got the music, it's got the soundtrack.
I don't know, man. But
What does Santa with Muscles or Hell Comes to
I had to keep
Frogtown have to offer?
I don't know. It didn't look good to me, man. You know why I hated it even more was because I was streaming it and it kept fucking buffering. That's why.
You can't hold that against it.
You have to.
I'm gonna say Hell Comes to Frogtown.
So-
I really wanted that movie to be cool, and it wasn't. It wasn't funny. It wasn't interesting.
All right.
It barely had any titties at all, and the ones it did had were
They were
small.
great, though. But they were outside titties.
No, but they were small. I need big ones.
Titties in nature.
I need big ones.
You know, surprisingly, what else has only one titty shot? Our movie that we'll get to later. Okay, fine. Here's the thing. If you remove Roddy Piper, then you remove the movie, right?
Right.
And if you remove DDP in the Devil's Rejects, then you still just have the Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
He was not any component, like, at all. He didn't need to be there. There could have just been, one bounty hunter in that pile of shit movie. All right, fine. Let's put Hell Comes to Frogtown in there.
Yay!
You swayed me on both.
Yay!
Did you take debate class as a kid?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of taking advantage of me because I'm very agreeable.
You're agreeable?
Yeah, I always just like to say nice things and not be be as pleasant as I can be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll remember you said you were agreeable the next time you're disagreeable.
Just I try not to be combative.
I
I try to be the kind of guy that people are like, in a room, they're like, this room would be better if it had a little more mic.
guess we'll have to listen back to some old episodes together later.
I don't think I'm going to listen back to this one, man.
Okay, and then finally,
That's a lie.
what film
How you doing, Mike?
is going to be the first entrant in the Hall of Fame for Squared Circle Cinema? Best Picture. Let me hear your thoughts. I mean, there are a lot. So I think I could be agreeable with you this time.
No, this is a goddamn no-brainer. The reason why is because we have the same answer. It's They Live.
They Live was pretty great.
Yeah, we were going to say Ed Wood.
I mean, I could say They Live. I could say Ed Wood. I'd be happy with Magic Mike XXL. But no, They Live. Let's go with They Live. Did you see that? What's his face? John Carpenter just came out recently and said, like, because I guess you know how like there's all the alt-right is like a big story in the media lately. Like neo-Nazism is like back in vogue.
It kind of
stuff.
is. Yeah. Now there's shows where black people are going in there like, hey, come on, I'm going to hear you out. Let's just talk about this. Why are you doing this? Yeah, it's back again. It's like almost like the early 90s again.
Like with Geraldo and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so a lot of those groups are like saying that They Live was like a metaphor for like Jews taking over the media and stuff. And then John Carpenter, like a few days ago, tweeted like, actually, it's not about that, you fucking assholes.
Wow. Did he say what it's about? Did we get his specific response?
It was, about like fascism and like mind control and stuff.
No, it's about mortgage.
And mortgages. So yeah, it's relevant. It's a timeless classic.
But
it's
I mean, Ed Wood, you've said on that very podcast, is one of your favorite movies of all time.
We're not closing the door on any of the great movies we've seen.
I think we are.
No, we're not, because we could go through the whole year of movies and still go back and say, like, you know what? These movies were good, but are they as good as Ed Wood? Hell no.
I know you've said Hall of Fame like at least a half dozen times now, but now I'm starting to get it, right?
Yeah. Just because okay, well, I mean, I
Vladimir
don't know who was
Guerrero-
like a first round
Okay. Like a
MLB
first
Hall of
ballot
Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Did Babe Ruth go in immediately when they created a Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
He was the first, one of the first ones.
If he wasn't the first one, he was in the class of the first ever.
Like, it wasn't like guys from like the 1800s that were like pinning like.
Well,
like
the Hall of Fame, I believe, began after Babe Ruth's death. I think it was like maybe not, maybe like in the 30s or 40s.
Okay,
maybe mid.
Well, let's say
be so
Babe Ruth
fucking wrong.
didn't make it in the first year they had it.
No, I know what
He'd
you're
still
saying.
make it in.
I see. I get it. Yeah. So just because you're not a first ballot Hall of Famer, you're still eligible.
Yeah.
And like
just
Garrett
'cause-
Anderson will be eligible.
Just because Santa with muscles
next-
didn't make it in this time, they can
Okay,
make it
we're
back
pulling
into
for
the
Santa with
Hall of Shame too.
All right, cool. Well, that's good because I didn't want to just completely close the book on something so wonderful
we go.
as Magic Mike XXL. Are you kidding me?
And how about that? Hot Rod has the best and worst movie of the year.
Oh, I like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Okay. Put a stamp on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
say
we're
'em
in.
again. Say 'em again.
To Pomona, California, to the Hall of Fame. You could meet Dusty Rhodes, my dog.
It's actually beautiful. Are you just going
And
to leave the door
you
unlocked?
can come look at a piece of paper where I wrote Hall of Fame.
And you don't have to knock. You can just come right in.
Come right in. It's on the fridge, and it says Hall of Fame Film.
That's 4873
And-
Town Avenue, Pomona, California.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It'll say film,
That's
And
a main
that film
thoroughfare,
is
so it's
They
obviously
Live.
not the right.
and it'll
Yeah.
say actor.
Wait. Are you
And
gonna
that
type it-
actor.
Are you going to type it out? Or
No,
just gonna
I'm
write
writing it right now on a pad and paper. You see me writing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it was covered by my laptop. This is the actual paper, people.
This is the paper.
This is happening now.
Right here it says actor, and that actor is Kevin Nash.
Dude, in 200 years, this is going to be on the Antiques
Okay.
Roadshow on PBS, which will
Okay.
still be around, and someone's going to present this
Now
piece
I'm
of
gonna
paper.
get this napkin, and I'm
That's a
gonna
beautiful napkin. I would call that a linen almost.
I'm going to blow my nose.
Yeah. Okay, he's blowing his nose.
Now
in
I'm going to
the
write on
napkin.
this napkin Hall of Shame,
Oh, okay.
and on it
It's harder
I'm
to
going
write
to
on a
put
napkin.
film.
You're doing it.
Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Are you going film : Hell Comes to
And I'm
Frogtown.
going to put actor
Actor.
Terry Hulk
Yes.
Hogan.
Beautiful.
And I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it in the trash.
I think, you know what? I think we came up with the best 4 options.
Yeah.
They were pretty much all your 4 options. Actually, I think I came up with They Live. But I think that's perfect. I love the idea of Hot Rod being in the best
And the worst.
and the worst.
Okay, so
Speaking of the worst.
the next film.
We reviewed... Huh? Well, what did we see? Natural Born Killers. Starring the Native American Tatanka. Oliver Stone, 1994. Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis.
And so
David Sizemore.
this is
Tommy Lee Jones.
we decided to see this because did you just say David Sizemore?
Huh?
Tom Sizemore.
What did I say? David
You
Sizemore?
said David
oh,
Sizemore.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
We decided to see this because we saw The Devil's Rejects, and then you thought that this was better than
Look,
The Devil's Rejects.
Look, we want to get a movie that we disagree on.
Okay.
Right?
Did you like
so
this
that's why
movie?
we chose this movie.
Did you
that's
like it?
originally why we chose Devil's Rejects. And
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I don't like this movie anymore. So we were agreeable again. The question on everybody's mind is, did Mike like Natural Born Killers? No.
Is it the same thing? Were you a
Not
kid and you're
the
just
same-
like, I like violence.
Yes. Okay.
I like Trent Reznor
But
doing
I-
the score.
Okay, I'm more ashamed of liking The Devil's Rejects, though, because that was recently. And I was a 22-year-old, young man, like that wanted to build his, film vocabulary. And I was like, this is art. And I was wrong. I was 11 years old when I saw this. And it was like this vulgar, violent thing that, like, I couldn't see. I was forbidden.
Yeah.
My older sister saw it, and 11 times, 15 times.
She saw it that
She saw it
many
in the-
times?
She loved. There's 2 Nine Inch Nails songs on it. I mean, that movie screams that year, 1994.
It definitely felt like something from the 90s.
So here's this fucking thing. Like, oh my god, it's just like a snuff film. What's going on? And I'm seeing these things, these images, like on the ads that I've never seen before, like the time lapse decay, and like these weird superimpositions on the window and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, Jesus Christ, my sister's the coolest person on the planet, right? So she knows all. It must be a really cool movie. It's like, yeah, I guess it's so cool. There's 2 Nine Inch Nails songs. 2. So we got the soundtrack, which was great. I mean, that's like was my introduction to Leonard Cohen, for crying out loud. Like, whose voice is this?
And you actually liked him back then?
Everybody knows.
Did you actually like that?
The song? Those songs?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Leonard Cohen?
Yeah, and I listened to the soundtrack over and over and over. And at this point, I wasn't allowed to see the movie. But just
You
like
weren't allowed to see the movie?
No,
but
my
you were
mom-
allowed to see Sleepaway Camp and all that other
Yeah,
shit?
but
It was because of the media hype behind it. They were lots of people
Well-
called it like the most dangerous movie.
well, here's the thing. I
of,
think it was
the last 25 years.
This is a short window here, like because when the first time I saw the movie was in the theaters, so it was still in theaters. So my mom definitely caved. I was definitely like, "Mom, come on, I gotta see it." But she just didn't know. I think no. What it was she wanted to see it first and really make that decision. Like, are you?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
Your mom was very lenient.
No, but I mean,
Natural Born Killers is a pretty extreme movie.
maybe she didn't see it. I think she did. Okay, maybe I'm making all this up. Whatever. Okay, but yeah, there was like a small window there of like a month, 2 months. I don't know. Maybe that movie was in the theaters for longer than that. I don't know. Movies ran in theaters. Movies ran in theaters much longer back then. But I had access to the soundtrack, and I was allowed to listen to that because I really dug the songs. I was into Nine Inch Nails and all that. But like a hip hop album, they had sketches. They had moments from the movie that led into each song, and it was almost the full movie. So I mean, basically, that soundtrack was like a feature-length film on an auditory level. So I'm hearing all these crazy, horrifying scenes of murder and like people screaming just moments before they die, and that poor waitress that gets shot after eeny meeny miny, and I just thought, oh my, that was more horrifying than the actual movie, and I kind of comprehended that even then, like just because I was visualizing what do these poor victims look like, and just hearing it in a car radio while you're driving to, or being driven to school.
You put
or
that on with your
blockbuster
mom?
music.
What would your mom say
just
what
really
during
liked
those horrifying parts?
She probably just clenched at the wheel and just, Mike,
My son's going to become a serial
do
killer
you want
when
to
he grows
talk
up.
about boners instead? Because I can men
put
get
on the
boners.
Adam
and,
Sandler
it's going to be
CD.
really awkward. Yeah. Oh man, my poor mom. Hey, it's tough to raise kids, man. That's for sure. But I finally I saw it, and yeah, I would.
Did you see it with your mom, with your sister, with
I think
a
I saw it with
friend?
my sister, my mom. Yeah, with my sister and her friends.
Do you remember walking out of the theater?
And I remember walking.
What would
I
they
was
say?
completely satisfied. I was like, it really delivered. I was like, that was awesome. And then I went and saw it another dozen times, not in the theaters or anything like that. But
Wow.
I mean, I'm a 12-year-old kid just loving this movie, and I never was like, yeah, Mickey and Mallory Knox rule, and that's what bothers me about it now. Just I need likability. I need to like people I'm becoming emotionally invested in these movies. And like they try to do like a Bonnie and Clyde. Nope, because these guys are killing innocent people. But I just thought it was just so like obscene, and like you're cool if you like this movie. It's like if you don't like this movie, you can't hang, man. You're a square. And it's like the fact that I could survive it and thought it was, and actually enjoy it, and thought like, okay, I'm cool and I'm hard because I like this movie. And that has nothing to do with the boner talk I
Interesting.
had with my mother.
Well, I think I saw it the moment it made it to like the pay cable channels. I didn't go see it in the theater, so what? Must have been 12
Yeah.
ish.
Were
by
you
that
seeing
time.
yeah, were you seeing really heavy provocative films like that at that age?
I like
I mean,
I've always
I saw
been
Texas Chainsaw Massacre
yeah,
as
no.
a 12-year-old.
Okay, let me give you some perspective. In like 7th grade, I decided like I'm going to watch everything that's on the AFI top 100 list. So I really loved movies, and I would see
Yeah.
anything, and I would like go rent movies
So that's
every
like when
week.
you saw The Shining.
Every week, yeah. And so I just like, and I would like, subscribe to Entertainment Weekly. Like I was always like a film nerd, even like back then.
You subscribed to Entertainment Weekly when you were a 12-year-old?
Yeah, my mom
Jesus
would,
Christ.
because
Did you bring a briefcase to fucking 6th grade?
Your school didn't have the magazine drives. That's how like all my like we would just order magazines through my school each year, and like mom would be like, "Which one do you want?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I want Entertainment Weekly."
The one and only subscription I've ever had, I'm proud to say. Okay, fine. I've
Raw
had two.
magazine.
Raw magazine and WWF magazine.
I
Those
used
are the
to
only
subscribe to World of Wrestling.
and
Do you remember that one? Wow, they had like the big.
Oh yeah,
full
I never
spreads.
subscribed,
I
but
subscribed
because
to that.
I enjoyed the act of going to a store like a Kmart or like a
Target.
and buying it, picking
Yeah.
it out. So I got one, like I got maybe like 3 a year or something like that. Ah,
Mhm.
man, that was one of my favorite things about traveling, when you stop at those like weird grocery stores that have the magazine stand. You can see what kind of wrestling magazines are available here in like, Gallup,
Mhm.
New Mexico, say. Somewhere on the road to Route 666. Huh? The candy lane of murder and mayhem. Huh? That's Wayne Gale.
You're doing your
What was
Robert
Wayne
Downey Jr.
Was Wayne Gale? Is that an Aussie accent? Would
Yeah.
you say?
He's friends with Mel Gibson. That's one of
Yeah.
the things that I thought.
I think
I saw
I
that.
think the. This is still. I would say this is still a good movie.
Really?
Yeah, I would. I think there's no story at all, but what Oliver Stone set out to do for shock value was consistent. I think it was innovative. I think a lot of movies similar to this came out of it. I think the characters are really weak and shallow. And poorly written, definitely a poorly written movie. The performances are stellar, top notch.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite Tommy Lee Jones performances.
He was good. He's my favorite part of the movie.
This
But
is
let me go back to
definitely my favorite Julia Lewis
Let me go back. Your favorite
performance.
Juliette Lewis?
She was
really?
great in it.
I think she's been better in other stuff.
I mean, I hated her. I
She's
didn't
probably
like
the best part of the movie. Love the two of them. I think she beats Woody Harrelson.
I agree. Yeah.
But okay, so when I saw this on the pay cable channels,
Pay
I didn't like it then either, and I don't like it now. This movie's garbage.
Hey, what do four wrestlers say at the Waffle House when the waiter gives them the bill?
He's paying.
That's a kayfabe pay K.
That's awful.
No, like pay K. That's Australian. Pay K. Like, will you pay, please?
Oh, great. Thanks for interjecting.
This is why I'm a likable guy, okay? What I do is I give people the benefit of the doubt. And when they're suffering, I try to help them along. If you would have reacted a little bit better...
You shouldn't have said that.
I know I shouldn't have said that, but maybe you could have salvaged it or something.
No.
All right.
No, you dig your own holes,
Pay
buddy.
K.
No, the
Pay.
camera...
Okay.
Can we talk about this fucking movie and can you shut up? Thank you. The camera movement is awful.
Well, it was canted.
Canted?
Like, at an angle.
That's like why do we need to see that throughout the movie? Like
It was
why can't we get straight up regular shots?
Well, that's not what the kind... You got to at least admire the editing,
Well,
There's
yeah,
a lot
they did
going
a
on.
lot of editing.
That was a hell of a job for the editor.
What the hell was the purpose of all of this?
Shock value?
I wasn't shocked.
vulgar?
It wasn't vulgar.
Well,
like okay, he's
violent, man.
He's had to explain this
Personified.
movie to people
Violence.
tons of times.
Yeah.
And he says like, "Oh, this is an indictment of the media for their glorification of like
Well, that's what it is.
violence."
It's a satire.
Yeah, no, but he's still glorifying Mickey and Mallory.
Yeah.
He's
he
still making them seem cool. Any authority figure is evil or weird. Dumb, evil, like cartoonish.
Yeah.
The media is made to look silly and hypocritical, but they are still put on this high horse, this pedestal.
Well, that's the whole point. That's the criticism. That's the satire. They're saying that mass media does put these villains on a pedestal. So
you
that's
get that, but he is still doing it too.
Well, he would have to because he's using the avenue of
But
television.
we see
and
things through the television
consumerism.
perspective. We see the show that
Yeah.
they're on, the interview show. We see them on the news. We see how they're portrayed by the media. So that itself is already an indictment. But in the grand scheme of the movie, there are heroes.
Yeah, they have to be.
There's no doubt about it. It's just this
because
movie.
even the Tom
was
Sizemore
just
character, they make him out to be
a killer and a
and
rapist.
This works. This template works, but you can't have him kill innocent people. It's as simple as that. This would have been a much better movie if I would even go as far. I mean, the boy, at the gas station, if he would have like maybe raped her, but he was just kind of heavily groping her, dead, boom, gone. These are ruthless, compassionless, monsters. So why
I'll tell you what.
bother making a movie about
I'll go out on a limb. I like Devil's Rejects more than this movie.
I'm not super surprised.
I think this movie is trying to be artistic. It's trying to make a statement and failing miserably.
A lot of vitriol between you and Oliver Stone. You cannot
I hate
stand
Oliver Stone.
Yeah. You think he's too much of a blowhard?
He's a real blowhard.
Narcissist?
He is always sucking his own dick and like the dicks of people that he admires.
What'd you think of JFK? JFK's solid?
JFK is probably one of his better ones. JFK, Platoon.
What about World Trade Center, huh?
I never
Nicolas
actually saw it.
Cage.
I never saw that one.
It's, yeah.
I'll never forget. I saw his documentary about like Latin America, and like he made this documentary about like American interference in Latin America.
I saw.
I can't remember what it was called. It came out maybe 5-6 years ago.
He narrated it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's actually in it too.
yeah.
He's actually in it.
I've seen
He goes
bits
to
and
Venezuela, and you would think that he wanted to fuck Hugo Chavez the way he portrayed this
Hugo.
guy. He showed him like riding a bike
to
and
your hair.
yeah,
Look,
I just
I
think
thought that was like an episode of Vice that he
no, he made a film.
actually made a film.
I just think he is a hack, man. It's all smoke and mirrors. He's always trying to like
He has a
send
vision.
this message that is so heavy-handed.
Just not your cup of tea.
And he's always like trying to put in like different film styles and stuff to make things seem like
that bothered
more
me
important than they
about-
actually are.
Wait, what about Platoon, man? Platoon was great.
I said Platoon. I said JFK and Platoon. Do you listen to me when I talk?
Not all of the time.
Oh, well, you didn't listen that time.
I didn't just that moment. Yeah, Platoon I thought was, but still, I mean, it was a pretty melodramatic ending with a wink, wink. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Nothing.
spoil the
nothing
Willem Dafoe
he
scene.
does is ever subtle or nuanced, no matter what.
But
He's
what's wrong with that?
incapable of it.
I like to be told exactly what to do when I'm watching a movie. You know, unless it's Clue.
Okay, what was he telling you to do during this movie?
He was telling me to turn off my television and read a book.
That's what he
Man.
was telling you? I didn't get that.
And that book of choice is Food by Jim Gaffigan. He talks about Hot Pockets.
Ugh.
It's the only goddamn book I read all year. But speaking, okay,
I think
yeah,
this
you're
movie is ugly. It's
right.
rotten.
I got nothing to say because I agree
It's-
with you.
It's pretentious.
And I thought there was too much clutter. There was way too much clutter and too many genres. Like, what did you think of the sitcom scene with Rodney Dangerfield? But again, Rodney Dangerfield, incredible performance. This is like Leslie Nielsen from all those horrifying movies. Like, he was in Creepshow, man. He drowned Ted Danson in Creepshow, and now he's a goofball in Naked Gun. You know, this is kind of that same thing. Rodney Dangerfield rapes and molests his daughter.
I think it was like it made me uncomfortable, and I didn't like it even when I was a kid because I love Rodney Dangerfield, and you have him playing his like signature self, but he's like a rapist and like a horrible person, and it just like it didn't like I didn't get anything positive out of that. It just made me sad.
No, seriously, the only reason I like this, like if someone were to ask me as a 12-year-old, why do you like that? I'd be like, because if you don't like it, then you're an L7 weenie. All right, you're a puss.
But
L7's, have you ever heard L7? They're a
I've
chick
heard of it.
band, and they got this song called Shitless, and it's playing in the diner scene of this movie, and it's pretty fucking badass, okay? You just can't hang, man. I'm just saying that's what I would say as a 12-year-old. Now I got nothing.
But there's so many other movies like it that are better.
I wonder...
that have like anti-heroes or that are just, like hip and like glorify violence, but it's cool, that are better than this. And this isn't good. I mean, Quentin Tarantino wrote the story. By the time it actually got to the screen, he was like,
yeah,
this movie,
he removed his name
yeah,
from it.
he was like, this movie isn't what I wrote.
Yeah.
And
I had even forgotten that he had any ties.
And he actually like hated it, and he never warmed up to the movie until he met Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And he was like, me and my wife really dig that movie that you wrote, Natural Born Killers.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
And then he kind of liked the movie more because of that
Just
moment.
because Johnny Cash gave it a stamp of approval.
Johnny Cash, man, he gets movies. He's hard.
Or he's just crazy.
Yeah. I wonder what I would think of this movie if I was my age when it came out. I'm not going to say like what if it came out today, because today's different than in 1994. But I don't know. I probably wouldn't like it.
I went into it with an open mind because I knew that I didn't like it as a kid, and maybe I just wasn't smart enough to like it. but no.
No,
It's the same. It's
a very hollow story. What's the script? 2 serial killers on the run, get arrested, get out, fall in love.
What's the deal with like the Indian and all of the snakes and stuff? He always has to have like an Indian. Does it in the isn't there like an Indian in the Doors?
You monster!
Too?
Oh, I'm sure.
It's like
I think that's what
has to have an Indian.
Yeah, that's
And
what the joke of
what?
Wayne's World 2 was all about.
A lot of people like the running theory is that Oliver Stone wrote Scarface on a coke binge. Like that's what he's said before. I feel like he made this on a coke binge. This is a coke movie. This is all over the place. It's just a bunch of it's sensory overload is what this is.
I like the line, he's like, don't Mickey and Mallory.
Don't Mickey and the Mallory Nooks always leave.
That's not Australian.
Hey, g'day.
Mickey
Right.
and Mallory.
But don't Mickey and Mallory usually leave someone alive to tell the tale? No, not
Like,
that
we
one.
left
That's
your camera.
No, the one I like. No, the one I like more is the pharmacy clerk. It's like, I'm the only clerk left. You need to leave someone. And they're like, hey, if I don't kill you, what's there to talk about? Pa-pow! That's a cool line.
My favorite
Movie needed
line
more of
was when he's doing when they're talking about the different ratings for the serial killers.
Yeah.
And he's like, did I beat Manson?
Right. No.
And they're like, no, you didn't beat Manson. And he's like, it's tough to beat the king. I like that
Tell
line.
me about it, right?
And I like
Wayne
Tommy Lee
Gale.
Jones. That's it. And I feel like Tommy Lee Jones was playing the same character when he played Two-Face.
Yeah.
That's the same. That's the same guy.
All right. Well, how many how many New Year's Eve firecrackers do you want to give this movie, which you rate worse than The Devil's Rejects?
What did I give?
It's
The
going to be a
Devil's
quiet
Rejects?
New Year's Eve, everybody.
What did I give The Devil's Rejects? I don't even
I
remember.
had 2 or 3, maybe.
I'm going to give this a 0.5.
0.5.
The only redeeming part was the Tommy Lee Jones, the line about Charles Manson, and then the flipping through the channels to show like OJ, the Menendez brothers, and stuff at the end.
People, I'm right into 9 Inch Nails. I'm going to rate it low, and of course I'll give it some points because I thought it was pretty badass as a kid. But then if I tried to talk to my sister about this movie just to see if it would open up, you like this movie for some reason, so what, maybe we could open up some sort of dialogue, call it preparation for this podcast. She won't even talk about it. Like, she's so embarrassed that like she acted the way she did as a 16-year-old girl, which, that's not her fault. It's a very rebellious age. She doesn't even talk about it. She wouldn't engage at all. She was just like, dude, I don't want to talk about Marilyn Manson. I don't want to talk about 9 Inch Nails. I definitely don't want to talk about this fucking movie. And I'm just...
Is your sister religious now or something?
No, not at all. It's just...
she doesn't like Marilyn Manson anymore?
No.
Or
she
9
doesn't.
Inch Nails?
No, she doesn't. And I think that's just because...
What is she like now?
Let's see. She likes ZZ Top. ZZ Top's her favorite band. Isn't that cool?
I know ZZ Top has some really good shit, actually.
Yeah.
But
But
not just hot, sharp dressed man.
I think
and
she's just
legs.
embarrassed. Like, she just didn't like that time of her life. Like, a 16 must be the worst time of a girl's life. Probably, right?
And it's like you're trying to be somebody that you're not.
Exactly.
Maybe
so
that's
she
what
was all into
doing.
like, Malcolm X and anarchy and fuck you, Dad.
Did she
and-
really like The Craft?
No,
She
no,
didn't?
she didn't. No, she
They're
had pretty good
posers.
taste.
I like
in
The
movies.
Craft.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Yeah, no, I love that movie when I was a kid.
6 to
'Cause
12.
it was forbidden. My mom wouldn't let me watch it for some reason. She would let me watch Natural Born Killers, but she was
Yeah.
like, "No, you can't
Isn't
watch
that
The
funny?
Craft."
You know
and then
what?
it's like, then I'm gonna fucking watch it, bitch.
Yeah,
And I did.
There you go. I got okay. So there were other forbidden movies. Silence of the Lambs, which good call, Mom.
That was a forbidden movie.
Silence of the
I
fucking Lambs.
saw that when I
Forbidden.
was a freaking kid. See, it makes no
It
sense.
absolutely makes no sense.
My
you know
mom
what else?
forbade me of Terminator 2 for a short period of
Come
time.
on, it's a sci-fi.
Yeah,
There's
but
no tits.
No, but then
You
she
know what
saw
else?
it, and then she was like, "You know what? You can watch
Okay.
it."
I was
You
a
can watch
little
it.
I was a little off base
Yeah.
there. You know what else was? Fucking Risky Business. I
Oh,
thought that movie was porno because there's breasts in that. She, for some reason, she's like, you will never see this movie. I think something bad happened to her. Like,
Oh, do you know
While
what
she
we
was
didn't do? We didn't evaluate Tatanka's performance.
oh yeah,
How was he?
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, it was- yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield said some disparaging things
Yeah,
about
kill the
him. He
fucking
called him
Indian.
He called him the F word, the FAG word.
You know, Rodney Dangerfield had some pretty good lines in this movie. They were all very.
Did you know he didn't have a script?
Oh, that's awesome.
But then he was like, he was uncomfortable. He like was
Yeah.
uncomfortable with it. He was
Oh,
like,
he's
I
not
don't
that
think this
guy.
is a good idea.
Wow.
Is what he told Oliver Stone. He's
Did
like,
he
and
regret-
he didn't really understand like what they were trying to do.
Oh wow.
Speaking of which, I kind of didn't do my fun facts.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give it 4 firecrackers. Go ahead.
Okay, there's quite a few there's so many fun facts about this because it was such a controversial movie. Like I mean, for instance, they got sued because like some couple like on an acid trip killed people and they blamed the movie.
Oh yeah.
So they were actually sued for and being held liable, and John Grisham was tied to the suit.
That happens so often.
Yeah,
that
like with
happened
Ozzy
in
Osbourne.
A Clockwork Orange too.
Yeah.
You know, because these people are just looking for whatever excuse.
Judas Priest, I think, was sued. Ozzy Osbourne was sued. Okay, well, I think this one's actually kind of one of my favorite ones.
Mallory Knox did it.
The director of photography, Robert Richardson, hated the script and he didn't want anything to do with the film. But Oliver Stone used their friendship to persuade him to accept the job. For numerous reasons, he called shooting the film a nightmare and one of the worst experiences of his life because the story brought up memories from his childhood. So he ended up having insomnia, dependence on sleeping pills throughout. During the shooting, his wife nearly died from an illness, and then later they divorced because of the film.
Holy shit.
While filming a difficult scene, he broke his finger, and then the replacement camera cut his eye with a lens.
Jesus Christ.
Near the end of his shooting, his brother went into a coma.
And it's a film he doesn't want any part of.
Yeah, this movie
It's not like this is Citizen
ruined
Kane.
his life. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Let's see.
Fucking Oliver Stone.
Here's another one.
And I bet Oliver Stone was just a dick.
he was probably coked out of his mind.
Could you imagine
Talking
being part of
about
a
the-
movie
the
where the
Warren Commission.
DP doesn't want anything to do with? It's
Yeah.
his vision, basically. I mean, he's the one presenting the
Yeah.
director's vision. Pretty
This
fucking
this
important
movie
job.
took longer to edit than it did to shoot.
Yeah, I
It
believe
was like
that.
50 days shoot and like 111 days editing.
And I guarantee it probably looked like shit. Like
It was
principal
just-
photography,
yeah.
because it was all that lighting was probably done in
Yeah.
in editing. All the color was definitely corrected, and like it was just all extremes. To completely wipe out the imperfections.
Juliette Lewis improvised a lot of her lines, and then later in Cape Fear,
fucking head I ever got in my life.
Robert De Niro said she was great in the movie, and then
Mhm.
she was like, "I improvised most of my lines," and then he chastised her for not respecting the writer's vision.
That is probably not the way she expected that conversation to go down.
Okay, here's another interesting fact. I'll leave it at this.
Hey, why don't you? Okay, I don't have it.
Oliver Stone met with singer Tori Amos and openly offered
Love Tori
the
Amos.
part of Mallory. Early in her career, Amos had been pursuing acting as well as singing. She was interested until he explained that he also wanted to have her song Me and a Gun play during each scene where Mallory kills someone. The song is an a cappella account of Amos's real-life rape. In response, Amos slapped him across the face and stormed out.
Wow.
She details the story in her autobiography all these years.
You can't
She
talk to Tori
also-
Amos like that.
Yeah. She also references
She's a princess.
the incident in her song A Sort of Fairy Tale with the lyric, Feel better with Oliver Stone until I almost smacked him. It seemed right that night.
Wow. Isn't You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette about Oliver Stone? No, wait, that's Dave Coulier.
Dave Coulier.
Well,
Yeah, well,
with that,
yeah.
okay, I'm with you, man. We'll find something that I'm more passionate about
This
arguing.
this was
But
a
I got
real
nothing.
stretch as far as a movie.
I
with a
went into
wrestler.
it like first 10 minutes. I was like, oh yes, I remember this. This is opening up memories. Cool, Leonard Cohen. Ooh, great voice. Okay, and then it was, you know what it was? Opening credits, that beat poetry, like out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Over the credits, I was like, oh yeah, this is fucking stupid.
yeah.
This is a little much. There's so much goddamn clutter.
I'm
in
sorry I watched it again.
Here. Yeah.
Well,
So I'm like, how am I going to defend this? And then I just kind of gave up. I don't know. Childhood.
one
It's all about
of
childhood.
these days we'll disagree.
This
I
movie-
mean, you liked it better than I did,
Yeah, I did.
but you not
for the
enough to like
nostalgia.
really defend it. I
But
think.
this movie is for, obviously,
I'm
in
sorry
my
I
case,
yelled at you.
a
By the way,
16-year-old girl.
I yelled at you.
Are
I'm
you sorry that you just interrupted me just now?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that too.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's all. And with that,
Who better than Canyon?
diamonds are forever, and so is Ric Flair.